Hey everyone, welcome to Journey to the East. I am one of your hosts, Jack.
I'm your other host, Danny.
And you probably remember from the last episode where we left off, and this is being recorded certainly right after or in sequence with that, and certainly not out of sequence and not pre-planned to just randomly slot into any episode's breaking point, because we talked for a while, and this is just to show you that we are picking up exactly where we left off.
How complicated can you make this?
And if you can pull out your algebra and trigonometry
grab
books.
your abacus.
Yes. And we will measure this. No, we're just continuing the conversation from where we last left it. And if you didn't catch the first part, please go back one episode prior to give it a listen.
That's usually how it works.
Yes. And double check the show notes and everything. And yeah, it'll be good, but we're going to keep journeying.
Enjoy part 2.
Yes, enjoy the next part of this conversation. I think we're at a good spot. We could probably shift into the next one.
Chapter 5. Yeah. So something I found interesting is the chapter preview titles don't always match the chapter titles in the next chapter.
Yeah.
Like this one is one of those instances. I think
it's like next time
Oolong for 2. Which is funny because Oolong's a type of tea.
Yes.
And then tale 5 is called Oolong.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I don't know.
It
happens. It sometimes it's the same, and sometimes it's. I wonder if that's a like week by week. He had one idea for a title, and then he actually wrote the chapter, and then realized, well, I'm going to change the title to something else. Or if he just like plain forgot the title name.
That's also very possible.
I would not put that past him.
Yeah, very.
What did I call this last week? I don't know. I'll just make something else up.
Yeah.
It was something like this.
Something like Oolong. Yeah.
Yeah. Oolong means tea. Or it is a type of tea.
It's a type of tea, right?
Yeah. It's like a green tea, I think, right?
That sounds.
It's like an oxidized green tea. It's like the leaves are like curled up. It's not like fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right.
I was trying to figure out why he called a pig tea, and I could not find anything.
It's a semi-oxidized Chinese tea.
There we go.
Placing it uniquely between green and black. Very interesting. Yeah.
So I did a deep dive on Master Roshi's name, so I'm going to do a little dive on Oolong now. So yes. Here we go. Oolong sidebar.
Yes.
He's named after tea. We already talked about that. Mm-hmm. He's influenced from the Journey to the West character Zhu Bajie. Zhu Bajie. Oh my gosh, I can't say this. Zhu Bajie. Zhu was a high-ranking official in the Jade Emperor's court. He's a general. He oversaw like something like 10,000 celestial troops or something like that. So he was like a general, right?
Yeah.
He frequently got into trouble due to his drinking and lustful behavior. And he was also arrogant and proud. He hated Sun Wukong, and they had a fierce battle at some point up in heaven, because at this time Monkey was under the service of the Jade Emperor, I believe, as a stable boy.
Yep. Okay.
And he was irked.
I remember that.
He was irked by this because he's like, I'm way better than just like some horse brusher.
Yes.
Basically. So he got upset.
What the heck is this?
He started doing a bunch of stuff and getting into mischief, as monkeys do. And Zhu hated Monkey just because of that and other things. So they ended up fighting, and it was like a really fierce battle. Sun Wukong ended up defeating him. He gets sent to the mortal realm and is reincarnated as a pig, where he ends up being Monkey's disciple on his way to the west because he tried hitting on the goddess of the moon, Chang'e, in the moon palace. So Monkey destroys half of heaven and like gets a slap on the wrist by being like thrown underneath a mountain.
Yeah.
And then Zhu hits on the goddess of the moon, and because of his lustful behavior, he's sentenced to death, which is like little bit
don't
like
hit on the goddess of the moon.
Well, I just think like the crime does not the punishment does not fit the crime in those cases, because like Monkey literally like killed people, and destroyed stuff, and he's like just put in jail basically. And then like Zhu's like, oh yeah, you're pretty, like was drunk and like was like trying to hit on the goddess of the moon, and then the Jade Emperor's like, nope, you should be killed. So he ended up getting reincarnated lost his way and ended up being reincarnated in the land of animals as a pig. He has the ability to change his form as well when he's on Earth, as in his mortal form, so he can actually change his appearance. So the parallels between Zhu Bajie and Oolong are that they're both pigs. They both
in case you were wondering.
Duh.
Yeah.
They both have lustful and perverted behavior, but not as bad as Roshi.
Yeah.
Oolong just likes panties.
Yeah.
He has a fascination with panties.
To a crippling degree.
Yes, to a crippling degree. Yeah. Yes. Oolong was kicked out of Shapeshifting Academy for stealing his teacher's panties, similar to how Zhu Bajie was kicked out of heaven after hitting on the goddess of the moon. Zhu Bajie terrorized the area he lived in after he was reincarnated by eating humans. Oolong abducted little girls.
Not quite the same.
Not quite the same, but similar vibe, I think. Terrorizing your local village. Just, not eating people.
Right.
Which would not really fit the story very well, having a demon that's more of an Inuyasha thing than a Dragon Ball thing. But, and then Oolong ends up accompanying Goku after fighting him, although the Dragon Ball fight is comically one-sided, while the fight in heaven is actually a real fight between Monkey and Zhu Bajie. So, other random facts about Oolong that I found before we continue. His handsome transformation is similar to Senbei's transformation in Dr. Slump. Dr. Slump has a transformation ability in that manga as well. He transforms into this really tall, handsome man. It's very similar looking to Oolong's tall, handsome man that he transforms into.
That Bulma falls for, right?
Yes. They're the one that, we'll get there too.
Yep.
Another character flaw, Bulma. The Japanese voice actor for Oolong is also the voice actor for the Japanese dub for Porky Pig in Looney Tunes.
What? You're kidding.
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
Same voice actor.
Wow. I do remember hearing that at one point in time.
I think that's really funny.
Yeah. That is nuts.
There we go. So
Amazing.
there's my little Oolong sidebar.
Phenomenal. Well, yeah, and this, a very important character in the story as we continue to go on the journey. It's like each chapter is introducing kind of pivotal chess pieces.
Right, yeah.
We're seeing pretty early on.
Which is kind of how the Journey to the West model goes too. Like each chapter or series of chapters, you introduce more characters, and then they kind of come back later too. But it's just kind of like the same storytelling model.
Yeah. No. I did find it kind of interesting when they walk up and, of course, Goku knocks. Oh, it's locked. Here, let me just punch through the door.
Just breaking and entering.
Yeah,
Again,
right.
Goku's not pure, everybody.
Right. He just doesn't know.
He just doesn't know any better.
Yeah. But I found it interesting. I think in the anime, they almost, the manga just kind of plays it straightforward. As Goku punches it through, they start walking in, and then this shadowy figure charges and hits him on the head. The anime almost does this really weird lead up where it kind of threw me, where I was like, what is with this pacing where as they're knocking on the door, it cuts to inside and you see movement, and it's really kind of creepy, like
a horror movie almost.
Yeah, you're kind of what? But it's very engaging because you're wondering, okay, what is behind the door?
Yeah.
Whereas in the manga, it moves a little bit quicker, obviously. So yeah, I just found that choice interesting.
Yeah. Maybe that could be a medium type decision too.
I think
because you can't really.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of get that in the the second page of the chapter. You get the silhouette of the Sherman priest.
Yes.
With the axe, that's kind of the sneak up horror-esque man in the dark corner kind of thing. But I don't think that comes through. You can play with that a lot more in a animated medium like anime. Yeah,
because on this page you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what you got to remember. You have 6 panels, and you got to tell your story in that. and you gotta draw it all out, which is just like mind blowing to me.
Yeah. How much black ink does he go through?
Yeah, a lot.
That's why Super Saiyan's gold.
Yeah. he got tired, right?
He got sick of coloring in
he's
Goku's
just
hair.
like literally like his bill for just black ink is like, I can't afford to do this anymore. So the main character, yeah.
Smashing Goku in the head with an axe does not work.
And as Bulma points out shortly after, if that was me, you would have killed me.
Yeah, but this little kid's fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Did you also notice that in the anime, Pokowatha gets a name, but in the manga she doesn't get named?
Oh, good point. Yep.
It's just his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Like her name does not appear at all.
Yeah. Why did they choose that?
Why did they choose that oddly
specific,
very close to Pocahontas name? I don't know.
Yeah, well, these episodes in the dub in particular were kind of like.
Can we talk about how the accents are just the worst?
very culturally
is it like
insensitive.
the cowboy guy that comes in?
You little cucaracha! I'm like, what?
When Oolong comes in, he's like really, really Mexican.
Yeah. You're like, what
is going on?
Yeah. Ride with the bulls, I guess. Run with them. Yeah.
I like the cowboy that comes in too. He's got like a weird. It's like Western, but like it's like.
It's like Southern Western,
but like with this like comic like cartoony edge to it too. Mm-hmm. It's really bad. Mm-hmm. It's really bad.
Which maybe that's something that he's going for technically with the whole. Oolong's not like really a good spy. I mean, he tricked this village at least.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work very well on Goku and Bulma.
No.
And Goku's just feeling people up too, which kind of becomes a bit of a running gag.
Right. He just like randomly pats people in the crotch now, and then Bulma smacks him in the head. Yeah. And then Goku's wondering why he got smacked again.
Because he just doesn't get it.
You don't.
Because he's that unfiltered that he doesn't understand. He's like, what's the big deal? How else would I know? Because he literally doesn't observe the differences between women and men.
I found this actually kind of funny. The Sherman Priest character. Yeah. He's really funny.
Yes.
He's really funny. But the spot that I thought was really funny, so Oolong transforms into this handsome gentleman, right? Mm-hmm. And Bulma immediately comes out and is like all over him, right?
Yes. Yeah, she's very
and then she's like showing off her bust size and like a bunch of stuff.
Yes.
Again, the Bulma problematic, she thinks she's innocent kind of vibes here, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then he transforms into the bull, and Bulma's like, well, I'm out. Every time I see a hot guy, it's the same dang thing. Like, how many guys have you seen turn into bulls before?
She's just very much a teenager.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So she runs away, goes inside the house, and then this is the Sherman Priest. So good. So bottom right of this page, it's page 96 in the Viz comic, but if we had more time, I could really dislike you. But at the moment we have two problems. Your plans have been blown to pieces, and you've got a demon seriously PO'd. At least you're safe, turning to his daughter. Miss 34C here will take your place as his bride.
Oh, wonderful.
Like in the course of two panels, he's taken like 4 digs at Bulma. Yep. It's so good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. What a relief. Yeah, and that is
so your fan translation doesn't have the 34C comment.
No, and that's what I was going to say. The fan translation takes much less liberty with it, which I think is very interesting. And I'm glad that Viz decided to have some fun with it.
Yeah, right.
Because she's literally borderline flashing
Right.
Yeah, she just there was
At least she's wearing panties now.
Right.
Presumably.
Yes. But yeah,
I would hope.
Let's hope. Yeah. There was I think it was on. Kind of made me laugh. It was for chapter 4. There was a note about Bulma's promiscuity that I think Kaizenshu had, where it was just like, yeah, she really just like does not care.
No.
Yeah, it's their note. They were just like, yeah, it's the second instance of her, like, after chapter 1 of her using her sexuality to get what she wants.
Right.
Which is like, she's 16.
Right.
Like,
where did she learn this? Like, what?
And Toriyama doesn't understand.
No,
clearly.
Well, like,
from this brief interaction.
Right. Well, I think, again, though, it does show the opposites of Goku and Bulma, right? Like, Goku is from the country and, like, he's just so unaware of, like, everything, like, human culture-wise. He has no idea about anything, right? And Bulma's from the city, so the implication is that she's seen it all already. Like, she's so world-wise that she can do what she wants, and she's like, I can manipulate. She can manipulate how she wants, and she knows how to manipulate, right?
And yet she's also a minor and doesn't really seem to understand that.
Right, which is where I find it most problematic.
Yes, yeah. But she also, like a lot of kids that age, like, you think you're an adult, so she's probably like, oh,
I can do adult things.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, sure.
Oolong is younger than Goku.
Just...
By 3 years.
That's nuts, too.
But he acts like a 40-year-old man.
I do love the whole reveal, and it is they did adapt it the same, where Goku just can't hold it in anymore. Yes. Like when he's disguised
I saw it.
Oolong just gets so pissed.
So good.
In my translation, the thing I hate the most is attached to her. It's like, what? Probably because he's a pig. Like, you aren't the girl. Yeah, it's when after he sees Goku pee.
Oh yeah,
he's like, the thing I hate the most.
I wonder how close that is to the Japanese.
I don't know,
because mine just says I saw it.
And I love that he says the thing I hate the most, because it's like, why is that? What does that mean?
Yeah.
But you could read into it and be like, well, he's a pig, like, doesn't want to be turned
Goku back to the pat jokes too.
Yes, yeah.
You figured that out without a pat? You're good.
He's like, wow, you're smart. Yeah. You didn't even pat me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, this is where it's like the gags are pretty goofy and pretty lighthearted, because it's like if Toriyama's going to be that, like, innuendo, this is at least a way that's relatively tame compared to what we've seen.
Right.
I mean, I do think it's kind of hilarious as the series goes on how they play out the Goku just like copping a feel on random people that he meets. The anime has some fun with that for sure.
Yes. Oh, the interaction with the Oolong in the boat.
Yes.
Later on.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's chapter 5. We kind of just get introduced to Oolong, the terrible monster Oolong terrorizing this village. I did find one more interesting tidbit at the beginning of this chapter, which is when they walked into the village.
Yeah.
It's like the first. I'm gonna find it here.
Yeah, which page is that?
The second page. So the second page, the top right.
Okay.
Panel. So it's the first panel on the second page. Goku just jumps off the Kintoon and he says, "But I'm sensing all kinds of people. I'm gonna go check this out."
Interesting. Yeah, my translation says, "But it feels like there's a ton of people here. Want me to go check it out?" Which is. It's interesting because the sensing clearly has like an implication of some martial arts training, which he had some from his grandpa, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. By this point, I can't remember the specifics.
I was thinking more about ki.
Right.
And ki sensing, right?
Yeah.
So I did find some notes about this from a Kanzenshu post. Let's see. Okay.
Oh yeah, you went to the forums.
I went deep into the forums. Yes. So I'm going to just read the post here. So upon entering the seemingly deserted village, in Japanese, Goku notes that there are human presence. In short, subtle signs that humans are nearby. The first character that they use in Japanese is normally read as ki. And throughout Dragon Ball is used to refer to that shiny energy stuff characters use to fly around and blow stuff up with. And Viz translates this line into I can sense somebody. So is Goku sensing ki? No, not exactly. While its meaning can be very context dependent, in general, kihai means being able to tell something that isn't visually apparent, sometimes through subtle clues or intuition, or sort of like being able to tell that someone is staring at you behind your back. More to that point, saying that you can tell something via kihai is something that people who say in everyday life. It's not something inherently tied up with Dragon Ball's super exaggerated version of ki and ki sensing. In context, the implication is that Goku can tell that people are nearby, even though Bulma can't, because growing up in the wild, hunting bears and whatnot has given him sharp senses and keen intuition.
I like that. Because, that shows you that he's not, like, dumb as rocks, which...
Right.
The show is kind of... The series is kind of pointed towards him being, like, naive. And there's sort of this assumption, at least from Bulma saying it, like, how dumb... there's sort of this attitude of, like, how dumb are you? And he's not. He's just smart in a different way. Like, clearly, because Bulma doesn't even... She's like,
So the way it's being used in the original language is not ki sensing necessarily. It's it's sensing that people are nearby using your intuition, rather.
Yes.
Case in point, I'm reading again from the post. Case in point, one line doesn't even include the word kihai, and literally is Goku saying, it seems like there are lots of people around, which Viz translates as, I'm sensing all kinds of people. Viz's use of the word sensing here is a tad liberal, but not far afield. But again, the sort of sensing being described here is when one can just tell people are nearby through more down-to-earth intuition, rather than, for instance, Vegeta tracking the people down on Namek. So, yeah. It is showing, like you said, like Goku is not an idiot.
Yeah.
Despite the not idiotic, but just the naivety. I think naivety is probably the best word for Goku.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Like, just like it's the same thing with Goku. If you're to say, oh, he's the hero, he's a good person, it's like, well, he's the protagonist, but he's not really like an altruistic person, right. Like that's kind of like the key difference. So I feel like things about the character start to come into focus more, for sure, in this chapter.
Right.
I did want to bring up something, because we're kind of wrapping up with that chapter.
Yeah.
I did want to bring up something that was also brought up as a note, an author's comment in the Weekly Shonen Jump thing. This was also mentioned on Kaizenshu. Okay. It says chapter 4, but I think it's talking about the previous one with Kami-senin. And what's interesting about the comment is it says... This is from Toriyama. He says, recently I finally watched the masterpiece Future Boy Conan, and it really impressed me. I want to make something like that. I asked you this before we started. Have you heard of Future Boy Conan?
I have no idea what you just said.
Okay. I didn't know until a few hours ago when I was researching, because
learning new stuff is cool.
Well, so apparently, and this is one of those things that I was like, so I'm going to be watching this after. It's, I guess, a 25 or 26 episode anime that was done by the pre-Studio Ghibli Hayao Miyazaki.
Ooh.
And it's essentially like this post-apocalyptic story, and Conan is the main character, the eponymous Conan. He has a lot of behaviors and outlooks that are quite similar to Goku. So Kaizenshu commented saying that given that Toriyama had seen this series, this probably was not a coincidence that there was some similarities between them.
Okay.
And it is kind of interesting that Toriyama watches this and says this, he calls it a masterpiece. He says it really impressed him. He says, I want to make something like that one day, which is fascinating to me when you compare that with Dragon Ball and Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli.
Sci-fi.
And for those in the West,
yeah, that is definitely his art style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess it was Miyazaki's directorial debut, this series, which is really interesting. And I guess from what I was looking into, it has some influences and some sort of precursors to Castle in the Sky and Nausicaa.
I was just gonna say that looks like Sophie.
Yep. Yeah.
Like almost one for one looks like Sophie, but just in a red dress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I just found that absolutely fascinating. You know, like Toriyama was being influenced by a contemporary, and it's like as he's starting what is about to become this world-renowned series, he's like, man, I one day I hope I could do something as good as this. And if you ask, like, you and I had no idea that this existed until today. And I am like, man, as a fan of 25 to 26 episode anime myself,
yes,
like Evangelion and Cowboy Bebop, I am gonna blow through this, and I can't wait.
She looks a lot like Kiki too.
Mm-hmm.
The girl. I mean, a lot of Toriyama's female types have very similar facial features.
Yeah,
not Toriyama. Miyazaki.
Yep. Yeah, so I found that super interesting because I was like, what? And then I was like doing some digging on it, and it's Miyazaki. It's a very different thing than Dragon Ball, but Conan, I guess, just it's never really explained from what I did some digging on. He just kind of has supernatural abilities and runs around and does stuff like Goku.
Yeah, well, Miyazaki kind of does that in general. Just like there's just kind of unexplained supernatural stuff happening in a lot of his films.
That is fair. I do remember watching Castle in the Sky in college with some of our teammates.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Do you remember that where it's like
I did.
grandma, the grandma in Castle in the Sky? We were like, wait, what did she just do? Yeah. Like she's the superhuman grandma,
right? Yeah. Or just like how there's just a talking flame.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There just is, right?
Yeah,
it's fun. Yeah, I'll have to watch that. I mean, I could breeze through that pretty quick. If I'm watching an hour or two, that should be no problem.
I was gonna say, you break it down. If each episode is 20 minutes, horrible at math. What does this amount to? Like
10 hours?
Yeah, 6 to 10 hours somewhere in there. Yeah,
right.
Like not a lot. No.
Okay, chapter 6.
Let's
do it. Let's get into chapter 6.
Yeah.
All right. So the face-off.
The legendary face-off that determines the course of the series.
This finally feels like we're going to get the first real battle, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like he's really building up the tension and like...
Yeah, this isn't like this character's introduced late in the chapter, like the bear with the eye patch or whatever. That's like, I'm going to... And then Goku like one-shots him.
Right. Yeah. This is like a build-up from the previous chapter into this other one. Is this also like the first multi-part story arc, like mini story arc?
Kind of like every other chapter is wrapped up.
Yeah, every other chapter is kind of wrapped up in one go. I'm kind of just realizing that now, actually. Because like chapter 1, we just meet Bulma. Chapter 2, we get antics. We've already covered chapter 2. We get the antics between the two. Like chapter 3 is... Yeah, I think this is the first time we get a continuation, a direct from story continuation from the previous chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have all this tension built up, and then he runs away.
Like, oh boy.
Again, playing with our expectations, right? We're gonna get this fight, and then all of a sudden he runs away. And then he turns into a pig, wearing a communist China outfit.
What is with it? Like,
I
that
don't
was
know.
the same thing with the owl, right?
Yeah, the owl too. Yeah, I don't know what. I think again he's maybe just trying to set the setting, I guess. Like,
Sure.
it's supposed to be Chinese, sort of. So giving it a Chinese flair at that time, communist China. We're just gonna, I don't know. It's very interesting.
It seems like when you see something repeated like that, you're kind of like, what is the reasoning?
Right. It's not just a one time thing. It's happened now more than once. It's not an accident or a mistake or a random throw in.
I mean, in my head when I first saw it, I was kind of like, oh, it's got with the owl wearing it. I'm like, oh, is this something to do with Red Ribbon Army? Even though it's not the same logo, I was just kind of, like, maybe it's just the Western side of me that's going like, oh,
right.
This has something to do with communist China or Soviet Russia or something like that. It has, like, he's wearing a uniform.
Mm-hmm.
So
he doesn't wear it later in the series either. He kind of goes back. He goes to like the white tank top with suspenders look, or like wearing a suit or whatever else. But he doesn't really wear the communist China outfit after this point.
Yeah.
Really, not that I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, I just did a quick search, and I guess it's kind of like we had discussed and talked about. There's not like any explicit confirmation of what it is, but it does sort of seem to definitely imply like communist China, and it's possible it's poking fun at, the party with a pig wearing a communist China uniform.
Kind of a satirical jab.
Yeah, that's a possibility, which I would not put past Toriyama, to be honest. I mean, he doesn't exactly do political stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never really heard of him talking on politics before.
No. But it is interesting. Like, he's clearly intelligent and clearly has done his research on China. So if he felt like he wanted to do a small comment, and I could see Torishima being like, can you... Because it kind of goes away after this. Like, you don't see a ton of that.
Right.
So maybe he was kind of like...
What if that's his editor saying, maybe not.
Maybe tone it down, like... the owl is one thing,
right?
This random owl, but you're
but
introducing
now an actual
this character.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of it was interesting.
Yeah,
he probably didn't mean much by it.
Probably
Again,
not.
Don't take him too seriously, everybody.
Yes. But speaking of characters and transformation and stuff like that, I think Oolong's ability to transform does remind me a lot of the transformation abilities in Journey to the West.
Yeah. Now
that is, I mean, from what I had read, Monkey was doing that way more.
He used it a lot.
Yeah. So it is kind of funny that, Goku goes through different transformations later, but this is the more Journey to the West style transformation.
It's like a totally different character.
Yep.
It's actually in line with a lot of the demons that Monkey encounters too. Mm-hmm. Like, they're always in these different guises, and they have different corporeal forms that they change out of once they're kind of revealed.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of one. I'm gonna get the details way wrong, but there's one where a demon kind of, he basically worms his way into being the son-in-law of like a king or of an emperor or a king by posing as a human, and then like tries to usurp power, and then Monkey kind of exposes him, the king, kind of like a Theoden moment where he's like snaps to.
Oh, okay.
And then realizes like, oh, he's actually like a demon, trying to like take my power and stuff, and my daughter and everything else. So I'm getting a lot of the details very wrong, and I'm very fuzzy on them, but that is kind of a trope in Asian mythology and folklore and storytelling, is like the demon disguised as something good or something else other than itself to gain what it wants.
Yeah.
But of course, Toriyama is making a joke of it Like when he
Yes,
turns into the ramen monster.
that is just
Literally, it says noodle on his chest. That's what the character says.
Is that really what it means?
I looked it up.
Oh my
it's like,
gosh.
it's noodle or ramen.
Yeah.
Right. So he's like this giant ramen robot.
I love that. Yeah.
It's so stupid.
And they don't even, and this like very clearly becomes Looney Tunes because they're not even really fighting.
No, they're not.
Like at this point,
Doesn't Goku say at some point, like, I'm sick of all this talking. Can we just fight?
Yeah. And then he goes with the whole, well, maybe you're actually weak since you're not wanting to fight me.
Right.
You know?
His poses and changed too, though. He goes like at the end of chapter 6,
mm-hmm.
he's got like his fighting stance, and he looks a little bit more lean and like angular.
Yeah.
But then he gets to the point where he says, "I don't think you're that strong." Where is it? Like 4 pages in.
Mm-hmm.
After the ramen monster burns himself. Yeah. The bottom right of this page, like Goku's like, "Are you really a puny weakling?" And he's like very round and like,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
and like childlike again.
Mm-hmm. And right after that, you know, because Oolong's like, "I'm strong. I'm the strongest. What are you talking about?" And Goku's like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, the brick breaking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is a martial arts trope,
mm-hmm.
big time. I was looking up. This is one of the other rabbit holes I went down. I was looking up videos of Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan breaking stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
There's a video of Jackie Chan breaking a series of bricks with an egg in his hand, and the egg doesn't
fine.
break.
Amazing.
And then Bruce Lee obviously he's famous for his one inch punch.
Yep.
Right. So he'll like put his fist right up against something and then break it,
mm-hmm.
or whatever. Like you can look up videos of it. It's crazy. It's crazy. But breaking stuff is actually a martial arts thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a martial arts technique that's used in competitions. So like demonstrations, kind of like similar to like sword slashing demonstrations, like with samurai swords, or
mm-hmm.
katana.
Mm-hmm.
They usually use brick and wood to break stuff.
Yeah.
Or as the thing to break, right?
Yep.
But it's supposed to be like this like showcase of like power and technique and
mm-hmm.
speed and whatnot that martial artists use.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that not funny, but it's just like, it's kind of cool that Toriyama uses that.
Like a real world.
Right. Instead of them fighting, he just is like, well, we're just going to have Goku break bricks and then scare the crap out of Oolong. Because
mm-hmm.
Oolong's like, well, you're not human.
Yes. Well, I was going to say, too, when they have that whole exchange in the lead up, is this the first time? Because we know that Goku had a grandpa, and we know grandpa passed away. We know that. But I don't and aside from the 4-star ball, we don't really know anything else. Like, I mean, Goku's like, well, grandpa let me sleep on, like, by letting me put my head on his lap. And that's why the whole weird thing happened with Bulma.
Right.
But, like, that's really all we know about his grandpa. And isn't this the first time that he says something like, hey, well, I learned Kung Fu from my grandpa?
I think so. I feel like he said it somewhere else, too, but I could be wrong.
I don't recall him having mentioned it earlier as, like, grandpa taught him how to fight. Yeah, and that's kind of again, like, we like to make jokes about Toriyama not like forgetting things, which he does, and, like, you know, not being detail oriented about some things, which he's not in some ways, but stuff like this, like the world building, like he's pretty consistent with this stuff.
Yeah. I found another interesting tidbit about Goku's fighting style while we're on that topic.
Yeah.
It's actually based on a real technique or like style called Wing Chun, which is a subset of Kung Fu from southern China. It's a martial arts style that focuses on close quarters, hand-to-hand combat, rapid fire punches, and straightforward efficiency, which is the Kung Fu style of Bruce Lee.
Oh, okay.
That's like what he's kind of known for. That's the one inch punch type stuff.
Yep.
So if you look at the panel where he's breaking the brick, he's doing it with one finger. He's kind of got a big swing into it.
Yes.
But he's breaking a series of bricks with one finger from
Yes.
pretty close range.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's a focus on like striking, power, and efficiency, and grappling and trapping.
Mm-hmm.
So some kind of wrestling elements to it a little bit with the trapping and grappling.
Yeah, which we've seen from Goku a little bit.
You see that a lot, and as we get into more of his fights, you're going to see that type of behavior or fighting style from him a lot.
Yeah.
So it seems like that's the kind of kung fu he was trained in specifically, which when we get into like the training with Master Roshi, I think it's similar fighting style for Master Roshi too, which would make sense because Master Roshi trained Grandpa Gohan.
Yep, which we find out later, which is like, that's one of my favorite.
Spoiler.
That's one of my favorite reveals in the story. But again, it shows like if you pay attention, you see, if you pay attention, you see a lot of these details like play out. Like Toriyama slowly, brick by brick, kind of builds this up. So
yeah, right. Whether intentional or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think you kind of fall into.
Yes.
Okay, so you're a creator, right? I'm a creator too.
Yes. Yeah.
And sometimes you plan things out to be like so perfect, and so like this means this and blah blah blah. And sometimes you just kind of happen into it. I wonder how much of that Toriyama did one way or the other. Like, did he just kind of happen into things lining up the way they did? Or did he pre-plan things a lot? Like, well, this is going to be double-sided. This is going to mean two different things, or whatever else. Or like with Kame Sennin ending up training Goku and then having trained, like, he didn't have all that pre-planned out, but he seemed to have used like bits and pieces that he set up along the way and kind of incorporated them as he went.
Yeah, it seems like from the little bit of research I've done, and I'll continue to dig into this, but I was kind of, when I was trying to understand like the arc and some of the behind the scenes stuff that was going on during this, Torishima was pretty firm with Toriyama in the beginning. That he's like, this is kind of flat.
Yeah.
Like he was pushing him on like, this isn't going to last very long.
Right.
And so he, I think, really was pushing Toriyama to like, you gotta make this a little more interesting and dynamic, and can't just go for gags all the time.
Right.
Like,
right. That only lasts for so long.
Yeah.
That's why you can only watch stand-up comedy for so long.
Yep. Yeah, comedy's hard. I mean, Toriyama's really good at it,
yes,
but it's really hard, especially to keep doing it.
Right.
And I think there was also, I have to find the source on this, but did you find anything to indicate that Toriyama hadn't really planned anything past Yamcha and Puar? Like, it was supposed to come to a head, apparently, and the journey was supposed to like come to an end there.
I don't know. I didn't really look into that at all.
I found some stuff on that, but I wanted to do some more specific digging to figure out like, wait, really? Like, he only planned that far in advance?
Yeah. That would be fast. I mean, I think that's happened several times in the series, right?
Well, yeah. There's a lot.
There's some debate as to how much of that is true, I think, also. And
there is a lot of debate about it, especially when you get into the second half of the original story, after the time skip.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of debate over, like, when was he trying to
finish the story,
series?
Yeah.
And
right.
It seems like the consistent thing that I see in here, no matter what you look up, is that Toriyama was trying to end it at various points, and it just kept going for a variety of reasons. So
right.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm kind of asking, like, and you're answering the question, but how much of Toriyama's work was Bob Ross happy little accidents versus I have a plan and it's all going to be very carefully like Death Note style plan, like I'm 10 moves ahead of you.
Well, and I mean, we were talking about this a little bit before too, when we were talking about different things we were watching, different anime and all that. And I'm not in the middle of anything huge right now. Like, I'm working through some small stuff, but you're working your way through Attack on Titan.
Yes.
Which,
on top of Naruto. Yes, everyone, I am crazy.
A little bit. And the ending for that, like without getting into any specifics,
Please don't.
It seems like
for my sake.
Yes, and for anyone who hasn't, please.
Right, that's a much more recent anime.
Please go check that out if you haven't.
It's so good.
We were actually comparing it a teensy bit to Dragon Ball in that I think the world building in Dragon Ball is better, but that's because it's world class. Like it's untouchable with its world building.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, I think. But the moment to moment storytelling, writing, and like plot, it's definitely like I mean, I really like Attack on Titan. I think it's a really interesting, dynamic, complex. It has really meaty, interesting things to say. And I'm pretty sure that author, Hajime Isayama, I'm pretty sure he has gone on the record saying that he had kind of always intended the story to end a certain way. So I think, I mean, with that said, the path to get there is always winding, I think. So it's a little bit of both. George R.R. Martin also talked about this. He has used the analogy of a gardener versus an architect in writing. And that he's like, some writers will architect everything out specifically. He said, I am much more of a gardener, where he will plant ideas and watch them develop.
Oh, okay.
And I can tell you from my experience, so just what's today, Wednesday, just yesterday I was with some fellow writers and we were talking about some filmmaking projects, because I'm always working on stuff, like trying to work on the next project.
# keep grinding.
Keep grinding, right? So one of the things that we did for like 2 hours is we sat down, and I could tell that at least one of the people I was with, I think, was maybe a little bit annoyed. Maybe they weren't. Maybe if they heard this, they would push back on it. But I think they were a little bit annoyed that I was saying, okay, we have to talk through this and figure out why is this character choosing to go down this path and not that path. And the other writer was kind of like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, we don't have to tell anyone. We don't have to lay it out in the story. We don't have to explain it. But we do.
We need some motivation.
We have to think about like, what is the reason? And I'm like, I don't know what the answer is. You don't know what the answer is either, but let's talk it out. And by the end of that conversation, we went to places that I don't think anyone in that room expected, where it was like, oh my gosh, like that means this, and that character is connected to this character. And that happened by talking it through.
That's so good for the storytelling, like the story development aspect. Is just, hey, let's just talk about this character and their motivations and what's going on with them, right?
Right.
Because that's going to reveal so much more about other characters and settings and actions that people do and motivations. Yeah.
Well, and Dragon Ball gets dunked on a lot for its writing, which I think is very unfair, which you're probably, dear listeners, as you're probably starting to figure out, there's a lot more intentionality here than at first glance. Like, it's easy to gloss over, especially on first pass, the stuff with the panties and right. all that like nastiness. But like once you get past that and you pay attention to some of the details, especially like the further along we get, there's a lot of intentionality here in world building.
Right.
So I think, to answer your question, at the root of it, I think that there is a lot of happy accidents, and it kind of depends on the author. But I think Toriyama's like, if he's a gardener, he's probably like living out in the garden, playing in the sand.
I think so I'm going to take this in a slightly different direction. Yeah. I think he's more of a jazz musician.
Ooh, I like that.
So I'm a musician. That's my
jazz musician in a garden.
Yeah.
That's Toriyama.
So a jazz musician, when they're doing an improv solo, it's not that they're making it up on the spot. They are, but the way I explain it to my students is that you need to learn the building blocks first of your improvisatory stuff, right? So I use the analogy of building with Legos, right? You need to know what each Lego piece does and can do in order to use them to build the thing you want to build. Legos are awesome because there's endless possibilities in what you can actually make. Yeah. But there's only a few pieces. and only a few colors.
Yeah. Well, it's like
So go ahead.
no, I was just going to comment that jazz has structure.
Oh, for sure.
It doesn't not have any structure.
Right. There's lots of structure and there's lots of intentionality. So when a jazz musician plays a solo, they are drawing on these Lego pieces, right? They're using scales that they've worked on. They're using arpeggios that they've worked on. They know the chord progression that they're working through. They have a bank of melodies that they've memorized. And can quote on a instant basis, right? Like you might, I can't tell you how many jazz solos I'm listening to where all of a sudden the soloist will quote a different melody from a completely different song in some way. Yeah. It's like, oh, that was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. They just quoted it for like a measure. And then they go back into like they're ripping up and down their instrument on scales, right? And it's not that it's just completely unplanned. Yeah. There's structure. There's still structure to it. I think that's maybe how Toriyama approaches a lot of stuff. He has all this influence and background knowledge on Chinese culture, Japanese culture. Obviously, growing up as a Japanese citizen, he knows all these Japanese mythologies and folklores and everything else, right? Yeah. He's got all this cultural influence from just being working in manga and working as a Japanese man in the late 1900s, right? That when he writes a story like this, he may intentionally tap into those things, or he may unintentionally be tapping into them, or subconsciously be drawing them out just because they're part of him. Yeah. Like you can't help, like you were saying earlier, artists are trying to discover the same truth all the time. Yep. Your product that you put out as an artist is a product of what you have digested as a consumer. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So if you, as a jazz musician, listen to all these great jazz soloists, like if you listen to Miles Davis a lot, you're going to start sounding like Miles Davis. Yep. Whether you want to or not. Yeah, you put out what you take in. Right, exactly. So if you watch a lot of kung fu movies and Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan and all this stuff, well, guess what? Your character is going to act a lot like Bruce Lee as far as his fighting style goes. Yeah. Whether you did it intentionally or not is a different question, right? Right, yeah. Well, and the Toriyama, what was so fascinating about him is that he seemed to take in, like, a lot of the greats. He seemed to take in a lot of life. Like, he took in a lot of film. He was interested in Western culture. Yeah. 101 Dalmatians. Right. And all those old Disney classics. The Disney classics. Yep. He seems, there's even theories, I think we talked about this fairly early, that like his art style has some mimicry of Charles Schultz and Peanuts in some aspects. And it's like, it's surmisable, or it can be surmised that he may have seen Peanuts at one point in time and taken that in. It's possible. And then he also so he's looking to the west, but then he's looking also to the east, right, to China. I mean, I'm trying to think, where's China in respect? Still west to Japan. So he's looking to the west. To us, he's looking to the east. But it's I mean, it's just he took in a lot of Werner Herzog, a documentary filmmaker and a great filmmaker. He had this quote that I'm going to butcher, where he basically said it's completely BS to think that to be a filmmaker you're just gonna take in movies all the time. He's like, have great wine, walk the Great Wall of China, like literally travel the world. He's like, live life and use that to inform your storytelling. And I think Toriyama did that. If you look at everything he did, because there's so much intentionality in everything that he's doing. Like even the jokes, the funny bits, the dumb bits. It's like we have this wrong at times picture of him as this bumbling, guy. Oh, I forgot that. I didn't taking life too seriously. Yeah. Like his first job when they were like, he's like showing up in like street clothes and like unkempt. Yep. Right. Yeah. I think there was an interview I remember seeing with him a while back. I'll have to find it and send it to you, where I think it was his mom like encouraged him
to keep drawing because he was just like struggling or like not sure if he was going to make it like financially. And she like would give him like 20s or whatever to encourage him to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all of that where he's not dumb. He's like Goku. Like Goku's him.
Yes.
Like everyone looks at him and they're just kind of like, well, what is this guy's deal? But he's a freaking genius.
Right.
You know, at his core,
Right.
at what he does, which is make art.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And make fun art. Like
Yeah.
art can be fun. It doesn't have to be serious. This does not have to be Death Note all the time.
No.
Right?
As much
It
as I
does not
love
have
Death
to,
Note.
yeah, it does not have to be Attack on Titan all the time.
Yes.
Like this is fun art, but
Yes.
it is intentional art. And
Yes.
there's lots of intentionality behind everything in the art. It's like we could probably talk for hours on the detailed nature of everything in the paneling. Like we've talked about the paneling, the artwork. Like there is a lot of intention behind what he does.
Yeah.
All the time. Drawing on cultural things, drawing on history, drawing on mythologies, everything.
Yeah.
Like poking fun at communist China, maybe, possibly,
yeah,
right?
maybe.
In a panel, but at the same time, like, not understanding that women know when they're not wearing underwear.
Or maybe understanding and not caring.
Or just understanding and
I
not
would
caring,
love to
right?
just see his wife's reaction.
Yeah, what did she think?
Yes, she probably just looked at him like, babe.
You're an idiot.
Like, I mean, maybe Chi-Chi was representative of more than just like an ideal Goku pairing.
Goodness.
Anyway.
Oh, we got Far Afield. That was really good, though. I
love that,
liked talking about that a lot. Like,
yes.
yeah, like the artists and like what goes through making good art, right?
Yeah.
But I really do think he's a jazz musician. Now that I'm thinking about this more,
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he definitely is. Like he's shooting from the hip, but he knows exactly what's in his holster.
Yeah. Yeah, and he takes the right influences from. He knows when to say yes and when to say no.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. On that note, when they have Oolong captured, when Goku successfully gets him, then they take him to the Oolong's estate, where the women are just chilling.
The characters on the front.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
No, what does it say?
It says Oolong's house.
It's just
It's a giant mansion near the village that says Oolong's house.
amazing. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, it's my house. Yeah. Yeah, do you see on that like panel of Oolong's estate, does it have like text next to the characters, or is it just the characters on the front of it?
It's just the characters on the front.
Okay. My translator must have done something kind of funny.
It says it says Oolong, maybe.
Yeah, they probably meant to just type Oolong right next to it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not in the viz here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the girls are just like in here
Doing yoga and
they're like living like
they're living their best lives.
Oh yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah. They're just having a good time. They're like celebrity housewives.
Yes. He's like, please. And I love how Oolong just immediately shifts to be like, actually, can you take them back?
Yeah, actually they're really annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Goku's wondering why they have to bring Oolong along.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know.
Bulma's like, well, he might be useful.
Yeah.
Again, thinking of her own self-interest here. She's recruited Goku. She's like, oh, he might be useful as a bodyguard. And now, oh, this guy can transform into anything. That might be useful too.
She's building an army.
She is building an army.
Ready to take over the world.
Right.
Or find a boyfriend. One of the two.
Boat, the noise for the boat is boat.
Yes, that's right. Boat.
Like, what noise does a boat make? I don't know.
Clearly
boat.
Oh, gosh.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Goku gives him the TSA move.
Oh, yeah. The pat.
Yeah.
More pats.
I love girls and hate guys. Got it? Don't ever touch me again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't in the episodes of the anime. The anime actually ended. Those 2 episodes ended like right at the house, the estate. It didn't go into the boat.
Did the boat? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Chapter 7. It's more just kind of character building stuff for Oolong and the relationship between the 3 of them.
Yeah,
That's kind of the main focus here. They do mention Fry Pan Mountain, which I don't want to get into right now.
yeah.
But that's another journey to the west reference, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a big story there that I think Tolkien Toriyama is
Tolkien Toriyama
is drawing from.
Yeah.
But we can get into that a different episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Gyu Mao, the Ox King, again, we'll get into his name later. I think probably when we actually get introduced to him, we can talk about him more.
Yeah, yeah, they're doing a lot of setup for
there's
very important next.
Right, there's more setup happening here, which is kind of fun. It's the first time Toriyama's really done like setup for a character that is coming later.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. While the boat is still
Boat, yep. Oolong tries to run away, and then Bulma gives him this candy, the pee candy. When she calls him, so this is later on. She says "sui sui."
Yes,
that's a hog call.
Sui, yeah. It's
like an actual hog call, which I thought was kind of funny.
Oh yeah. My translation has the fan translation. They have a lot of like when Goku's using the paddle.
Yeah,
he's saying like "Sorya." So they have a lot of like
onomatopoeias.
Yeah,
stuff.
Really specific. Because what I noticed too in the fan translation, Master Roshi, when Kami Sennin, when Kami Sennin jumped on Kintuan, he said Dora, and then every time after, Goku says Sora. And so like he replaced the D with the S with the jumping, and like when he jumped on Kintuan and went after Oolong, he said the same thing. He went Sora. So it's like he's got this thing, and they kind of do this in Daima later too, where Goku will like his hearing needs to be checked or something because he doesn't remember or doesn't catch what something's supposed to be called. So
the name for the candy also Sweet Trots. Yeah. So this is another pun. Yeah. So Sui is the pig call, right? Trots is like the derogatory kind of like you've got the runs. Oh. The trots. Oh. But also it sort of sounds like sweet tarts. Oh. Sweet tarts, sweet tarts, sweet trots. So it's like a rough translation from the English name for the candy, sweet tarts.
That's wow. Again, more wordplay.
Yeah, right? This is more wordplay. It's really fun.
Yeah. And
it has a manufacturer's warning too on the bottom of the page. The page where the let's see, Bulma gives him the candy, and then like she's just tormenting Oolong with like saying "sweet, sweet, sweet."
Oh yeah.
At the bottom of the page it says manufacturer's warning. Sweet Trots are only for 1 month per dose. And like the manufacturer is Bulma because she made this.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
It also kind of reminds me of the necklace that Monkey has to wear from the monk. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I forget what they have to say, but like the monk that he's traveling with will say something. I forget what the word is, but she'll say it, and then like he'll like immediately be pinned down. Like, oh yeah, what does he get? He massive migraines or something like that. Let me look it up now because I'm butchering this.
I know what you're talking about. That's pretty early on, right? I remember that. Yeah. Journey to the West kind of like puts all this stuff in into the character of Monkey, whereas Toriyama's kind of like parsing it out into different pieces.
Is it a headband? Yeah, it's a headband. given to him by Guan Yin. It causes intense pain via a tightening spell whenever he behaves improperly or refuses to obey. So it's kind of like the same idea, but instead this is a piece of candy that gives you the runs. Almost like Inuyasha's necklace also.
Yeah. Yep.
When Kagome says sit boy,
Sit
and then
boy,
he falls to the ground. It's kind of the same idea again. This like restraining device. My food turns into gas. When they run out of gas, Goku's like, oh, my
Goku.
Food. Also, did you notice the motor for the boat, the engine kind of looks like R2-D2?
Yes, I was wondering that. I was like,
I looked at it like, that looks really like R2-D2.
Yeah.
Not too subtle there, Mr. Toriyama.
I mean, yeah, it's like you don't see it a ton. You see it in like 3 panels.
Yeah, like 3 panels, 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's kind of obscured in a lot of them.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. This is just kind of a fun chapter of them just all interacting, and we don't get too much of the vulgar, like Bulma's lack of innocence humor. We just get Bulma being annoyed by both of them, and Oolong trying to escape, and just Goku's again like playing on Goku's naivety and everything.
Yeah,
right. It's a really funny chapter, I think.
Yeah. We also learn about Oolong's obsession with panties.
Yes, like, this is where we get the panties obsession.
Yeah.
And then also we get a little bit of the again the opposites of Bulma depending on her technology, and Goku being like, "What's the big deal? You lost your capsules. We can just walk."
Yeah, he's like not worried about it, and she's like, "The world is ending." Yeah. Yeah.
And then right at the end, we meet two more characters.
One who looks very cool, and the other one looks like some random bandit. No. Yeah. I mean, kind of similar to what happened with Oolong with his introduction. There's a little bit of build-up here.
Right.
Too.
Right. Like a little bit of like impending danger. So we get Yamcha and Puar. They're named right at the end of the chapter. The desert bandit.
Yeah. He looks pretty serious.
He does look pretty serious and cool. He's a cool guy. Right?
Yeah, very cool. Certainly lots of
hair.
Lots of hair, lots planned for his future.
Yes.
There was, have you heard of the chapter? I don't know if it's a one shot or what. I haven't looked into it a ton, but there's like a spin-off manga, either chapter or series called like Life of Yamcha.
Yeah. I did see there's something like this. Yes.
Yeah. What is it? Or like Dragon Ball
Secret Life.
Yeah, secret Life of Yamcha.
No, it's not
that time I got reincarnated as Yamcha.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Yep.
Written and drawn by.
Is it Toriyama?
Toriyama didn't do it apparently.
Okay.
Dragon Garo Lee. That's who it is.
Is that a fan made thing, or is it canon?
Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good. I mean, it's published in Shueisha. So yeah, it was published in 2017. Same date as Dragon Ball Super Volume 4. But I'm trying. I guess it is just one manga, like one volume. But yeah.
We'll have to look into that for next time and see what that's all about. We'll talk a lot more about Yamcha and this Puar character, right? Yes. There's a lot to unpack in that next chunk. So I think the next time we meet, we're going to talk through the next set of chapters and read through and watch the next set of episodes, which would be, as I pull up my thing here.
Yeah, where are we going? Where no podcasters have gone before.
Right. Dragon Ball. Usually they start at Z. Looks like it's going to be chapters 8 through 11.
Okay.
Which is episodes 5 through 7 in the anime.
Nice.
So
full hour of Dragon Ball to gear up for.
There we go. We're going to get a lot of shape shifting happening. We're going to get a lot of we're actually going to get some real fights finally.
Yeah.
I think.
And some really important lore.
Right. Also some very important lore. Yes. Yeah. So some really exciting chapters coming up next time we meet, and maybe some more Toriyama tidbits.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't do any sort of touching on current events. Not that we need to at all.
Yeah.
But who knows? Like, if there's anything that strikes our fancy. Yeah. Like, I think they just announced yesterday, or heavily implied, like, Toyotaro said that he's starting up the manga again.
Yeah.
For Super.
Right.
Which is great.
So maybe next time we meet, there might be more information about that too.
Hopefully.
Which would be really exciting.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a guest on at some point.
Yes.
That'd be really fun.
That would be a good idea.
We have some other friends of ours that are big Dragon Ball fans.
Yes.
And it'd be kind of fun to have them jump on and get some extra perspectives.
Yep.
Like, one of the things I want to do as we grow this podcast is get other people's perspectives and ideas on things. You and I mean, we said this at the beginning, you and I are certainly not the authorities on this at all.
Oh, no. No.
We're just two dudes with ideas that are talking into microphones.
Yes.
But there's lots of people out there that are way more knowledgeable about Dragon Ball than we are, that have a lot of different ideas about Dragon Ball than we do.
Yeah.
I would love to hear those different stories and opinions and everything else like that.
Yeah, feel free to reach out to either of us if you're loving what we're doing.
Yes.
If you're interested in potentially, being involved with one of our discussions. I think we have a few people lined up that we could potentially talk to.
Yeah.
Some of our friends who have expressed interest in talking more about it. And too, like, if you're not like a big Dragon Ball buff, that's okay too. Cause
we've clearly talked about other things besides, that's Dragon Ball is kind of the crux of the show, but we've brought up so many other fandoms already just in these first couple episodes.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I like making comparisons between lots of different things because I think there's a lot of fun in that.
Yeah. I mean, I myself, I'm definitely going to check out Future Boy Conan or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Because that I was like, I discovered that and I was like, are you kidding me? How have I never heard of this?
It looks great. I might want to watch it too, actually. Yeah. Once I finish Naruto and Attack on Titan.
Yeah, you got some homework to do yet.
I'll have an update for you all next time on where I'm at with that. So Naruto has been very good so far, but I'm getting to the point where I'm getting to the other 40% of the show that's not actually canon.
40%.
So I might be doing some episode skipping here.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll rewatch a lot of the filler at a later date, but I'd like to get through the main story. So.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear some of your thoughts on that. Yeah, God bless you for attempting to go through. That is something where I certainly didn't watch all the filler, and I don't think I even finished watching the entirety of Naruto because it just got too long for me. Not kidding, that like One Piece's episode length is just, you and I said, I don't think we could.
Yeah, I
don't think we could do it.
No. If anyone tries to tell you Dragon Ball has too much filler, they are lying. It's so low.
Yeah.
It's so low.
That percentage you found on that?
13%.
Yeah.
13% of the show is filler. Naruto's 40%. 40%. Anyway, we are going on and on and on.
Yes, we should probably wrap.
We should wrap this up. So thank you all for listening very much to another episode of Journey to the East.
Yes, and we will pick it up next time with the fearless and dangerous Yamcha.
Yes. See you next time.
Yes.
Hey Dragon Ball fans, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Journey to the East with your hosts Jack Albert and Danny Hafenstein.
Recording and mastering for each episode is handled by Danny, while editing and publishing is handled by me. Artwork and logo was designed by me as well. Our last time on Journey to the East Tsunami-style recap for each episode was recorded and provided by Zeke.
If you like what you hear, please share with your friends. One of our goals is to bring more people into this wonderful fandom. We love this series so much and want to share our thoughts with you all and have you be part of the discussion. Please like and subscribe to our content wherever you get your podcasts, rate and review, and share it with others.
If there's somewhere that you want to see us that we're not, please let us know, and we'll gather the Dragon Balls up and talk to Shenron and make it happen.
If you feel like supporting us, you can use the Buy Me a Coffee link in the episode description. This will help us create future content for you to enjoy. Thank you so much, and see you next time on Journey to the East.